What is the Minnesota Termination of Sales Rep Act? And what should you know about it? I'm Aaron Hall, a business attorney in Minneapolis, Minnesota. The Termination of Sales Representative Act in Minnesota is a special statute designed to protect the rights of independent sales reps. So let's talk about what it is, how it works, and some frequently asked questions. So let's start out. You have manufacturers. Let's say a clothing manufacturer. The manufacturer is sometimes called the principal. And then you have sales reps who work independently, so they're not employees, they work as independent contractors for the manufacturer. Sometimes they're called the agents for the principal. The manufacturer is the principal, the sales reps are the agents. And they'll go out to clothing retail stores or distribution centers or wholesalers. But the bottom line is they're building relationships between the manufacturer and somebody else in the chain of distribution. The sales reps may work for years setting up these relationships, and they often don't get paid until a sale occurs, and that's when the sales rep gets a commission. So here's the problem. A sales rep may work a long time and leverage their contacts and their relationships and their resources to set up a relationship with the manufacturer. Now the manufacturer is going to benefit for many years. And the manufacturer has to start paying commissions now to the sales rep. Well, what happens if the manufacturer says, hey, sales rep, thank you, you did all that work, you spent years, really appreciate it, but I don't want to pay you commissions anymore, so you're terminated. And the manufacturer now keeps the relationship with the retail outlet where the clothing is actually being sold to consumers. That's not fair. This sales rep worked for years. And then as soon as the sales rep finally sets up a relationship, which may now exist for years, the manufacturer cuts them off. Says, oh, I don't want to pay any more commissions. That's the scenario that prompted the Minnesota legislature to say, no, there needs to be some fair play here. There needs to be some protection for sales reps so they have at least an opportunity to be notified and get some commissions before they're cut off. And if the manufacturer says the sales rep is being terminated for breaching the agreement or for doing something wrong, the sales rep needs to have an opportunity to cure this. Now, let's go through a few really quick questions. Does this apply only to manufacturers in Minnesota? No. It applies to any manufacturer anywhere who's selling ultimately in Minnesota. Does it apply only to sales reps who are located in Minnesota? No, it applies if the sales rep is selling in Minnesota. Does it apply to employees of the manufacturer who are in sales? In other words, if a manufacturer hires sales reps as employees, does this Termination of Sales Representative Act protect those employees? No. It only applies to independent contractors or independent sales reps, not the employees of the manufacturer. Does this statute apply only to sales reps of manufacturers? No. It also applies to sales reps of wholesalers, distributors, and really anybody in the chain of distribution. If if a sales rep sues the manufacturer, can they go to arbitration or state court or both? The answer is both. What about a manufacturer that sues a sales rep? The manufacturer has to go to arbitration unless the sales rep opts to bring a claim in state district court. Can the winning party of an arbitration or a dispute recover attorney's fees? It depends. The sales rep generally can if the sales rep wins. A manufacturer has a much higher threshold or burden to prove in order to recover attorney's fees. Now, what if there is a section in the contract between a sales rep and a manufacturer that is different from what the state law says? Which one prevails? The state law does not defer to the contract. The state law trumps the contract. The state law overrides the contract. Now, if you think about it, this can have an extraordinary impact. Imagine a manufacturer of clothing in St. Louis, Missouri. And then you have, and they're selling throughout the country. And then you have one of the sales reps selling here in Minnesota. That St. Louis manufacturer and its contract is subject to Minnesota law, and Minnesota law trumps provisions in the contract that are contrary to Minnesota law. So if you think about it, this is a powerful provision protecting sales reps who are selling here in Minnesota. There's a lot more to the law, and if you want to know the details and answers to other frequently asked questions, in the description below is a link to an article I wrote at aaronhall.com. For similar videos, including other videos for sales reps, you can subscribe to this video channel or subscribe to our email list. See the description below for more information, and also please see the disclaimer below. This video is subject to the disclaimer. This is general educational information so that you can spot issues and talk with them or talk with an attorney about those issues. I'm Aaron Hall, a business attorney in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Thanks for joining me here today.